actually just resting it. It's on top of a deck box, and then it is leaning up against a fat pack. I mean, a bundle. Sorry, I can't say fat pack because apparently fat people are sensitive or some shit. I don't know. I'm
They
fat.
are
I don't
because
care.
they're fluffy. They are because they're fluffy.
I never understood why they called it it's like, oh, we can't call it that anymore. It's like, why?
I don't know. So this is a little Lego thing that I built to hold my phone. It's like a little cradle. So like it's pretty sweet, and it's brightly colored because I like looking at bright colors. So, and it sits on my desk, and I just put my little phone in it, boop, like that.
Let me see.
Okay, I'll let you one more time. Here you go. So
with your phone in it.
Oh, sure. So it can go like this.
Yeah.
It's got a little hole right here for the USB charger if I want. But most of the time, it's like this.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably how I'd build one, like horizontally.
Yeah. This way, like, so when I have my phone on, like, for example, Travis's text, which people may or may not be able to see, depends on how close it gets, I can just leave it sideways and then look at the things. Or I can have my Tweetcaster program up, which is mostly what happens. And Tweetcaster has a sideways thing. So then I can keep up. That's how I get the magical news of the day.
Okay.
Is it sits there, and then every once in a while I just hit my little bird and scroll through. Like when I have spare time, it's like, then hit the little bird face again. Boop. That's the magical news. And then when something sweet happens, I run over to Facebook and I post it, and then people call me names because I posted news on Facebook, like the Brawl format. How dare you? That's a bad commander. Anyway, before we jump into the title of this week's show, which is episode 122 Legend. Wait for it. I want to actually talk about the fact that last week I was sick and didn't want to watch the chat at all. And then we started making fun of Bill Al having like 10,000 kids.
Right.
So literally right then, as Gary, as I was making those comments, he jumped in the chat. I rewatched the chat later. And he's like, only have 4. And then right then you're like, he's only got 4. And then like some other guy starts coming in. He's like, wow, dude, you got 4 kids. It's like, ah. So it was pretty funny. Anyway, I'm Samus. He's Travis. Welcome to Two Trolls and a Brew. Subtitle this week, Squee the Immortal. I like this Magic Gathering card.
Happy to see him.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this card. Troll cards this week. Llanowar Elves are back, baby. I don't have to say anything else. In standard, boom, we're done.
Yeah, I already got my mono green deck built.
For standard?
Yep. Well, I guess minus any of the Dominaria stuff, but yeah, I already got a new deck built.
Yeah, some of these cards look pretty good. Official spoilers started not very long ago, and we're like, what, 2 weeks out, right? From the pre-release? Probably,
yeah.
Probably a week from the time the show actually gets posted. So yeah, I've been pretty pleased. Kind of watching some things. I've seen a lot of people out there being like, Wizards of the Coast, let's not have hexproof anymore. And then they like print, like show all these cards. It's like everyone gets hexproof.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are pretty funny.
Hexproof is busted. Who wants hexproof?
That's right. You all get hexproof. You get hexproof. Your mom gets hexproof. Your dad gets hexproof. Yeah, your girlfriend, she gets hexproof too. Sorry. Everyone gets hexproof. I don't know. After doing last week's show about Brawl, I've got a lot of local people interested about Brawl. I'm going to work on a deck this week and actually try to have something together to post as part of the show notes. I haven't really narrowed things down. Again, I'm leaning towards something with Saheeli in it, or possibly 2-mana Nissa. Like, I really like that idea, but I'm not sure which will actually land and take off. But I think it's going to be fun. And I haven't really read a ton of the spoilers. Have you read any spoilers? Just a few things here or there?
Just whatever, like, I see going across Twitter, but I'm not really paying that much attention.
Yeah, I'm not either, really.
Because
I'm glancing.
I got my sweet Llanowar elves that I'm going to be playing.
You know, what would make those sweeter if they were black border.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm counting on people getting upset about is a sweet white border all the way from back in the day.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Teferi's back. It sounds pretty exciting. I don't know. I think this is going to be the set that they needed. Not necessarily the set that we deserve, but definitely the set that we needed. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I saw a spoiler card that actually I made me go, huh? I'm trying to find it here. It was a black. They've reprinted a new. It's called Divest. This is the card I wanted to talk about. Divest. 1 black sorcery. Target player reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from it. That player discards the card. I think I love this card right now. Like,
yeah, that's so low key. I think that's going to be big in Modern.
I think it's going to be big in a lot of formats, but yeah, I think Modern is going to really take off too.
Yeah, like I think mainly it's going to be big in the sideboard for Modern because it hits 3 of the biggest decks right now, which is
Elves?
Tron. Well, no.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
In Modern, no. Like you get the flare up, but no, like Elves is kind of rare as the top seed. Have Tron,
No, not Collected Company. That's a real deck. Damn it. Keep going. I'm
Affinity.
gonna think of more decks that it hits that are not top tier decks because that's what I was trying to do.
Okay, so Tron, Affinity,
Cheerios,
Lantern Control, and KCI.
But what about the Cheerios deck?
What about it?
It hits them too.
Look, if it's a Travis deck, it's not a tier 1 deck.
What about Zoo decks?
Not well, yeah, they're tier 1, but like I said, it's going to be.
I'm trying to think of these really bad decks that I can keep saying the names of the card or the decks to, like as you start listing off good Modern decks.
Yeah, we already listed the 4 that it's going to hit hard.
Okay. Eldrazi and Taxes.
Well, I guess it could hit it.
I don't know
because it gets artifacts and creatures, right?
It does.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really big against like Affinity for the most part, because if you turn 1, look at their hand. Well, game 2, turn 1,
I'm
and
sorry.
they have.
I'm sorry. I have to interrupt you. Did you become a friar?
What do you mean?
You're clearly wearing a friar's tunic right now.
Oh, dude, no, I'm wearing a poncho.
No, this is not a house poncho. House ponchos are colorful. That is a black friar's cloak.
I had the options of colors, but I don't do colors.
Like it's even got like the gray to separate between like the drab black and
I know.
It's definitely a friar's cloak. It's not a poncho.
Dude, I've been wearing this since January. How have you just now noticed it?
It's the first time I've seen it on camera, I guess.
Check it out. Like it's a complete poncho and everything.
The whiteness, it was too much.
Yeah, I know.
If you'd like to watch the video, the YouTube video is youtube.com/SamusGarobo. Look for that. Look for Travis flashing the camera.
But no, there's
underneath his house poncho.
There's like no sleeves or anything.
All right. They didn't have sleeves in the prior days either, my friend.
Yeah, they did.
Let's not talk about factual accuracies in this particular moment.
They're basically just giant robes.
I mean, that's what that is.
No, because robes still have sleeves, and they have like little like fabric belt loops.
Very well. You know what?
This is just a poncho.
I feel like this is I've already invested more time and energy in this side quest than I wanted to. I wanted like a 5-second like side divestment to be able to transition to a different magic card, but
also it's got a hood,
which is why it's not a poncho. Ponchos don't have hoods.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my gosh. Why would they need a hood?
So you can sleep in them.
Oh my god. Let's look at another Magic the Gathering card from the new set here. Squee the Immortal. Squee the Immortal. You need to wear it.
I do. I wear it every day.
Like Friar Tuck. Like,
Who?
do you have a big wooden stick?
No.
You should get one and pretend to be Friar Tuck at Gen Con or something.
I have a cane every now and then for when my back really hurts.
Perfect. Squee the Immortal. Red, and a generic or legendary creature goblin. A 2/1. You may cast Squee the Immortal from your graveyard or from exile. What do you think? Seems good.
I'm excited to have a new Squee.
I really like this card. The potential to make this thing do some interesting things, I think, is up there.
Like I don't think I'll be using him in standard, but I'll definitely use him in modern. So that way I can like delve him out of the graveyard and then cast him.
Yeah, I definitely think I would use this guy in modern in a couple of places.
You know what the great thing is? You can throw him in as a commander, then have him like go to the graveyard and then they exile him and don't put him back in the command zone, and you can cast him from exile still.
That's right, for less mana.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this guy could be really exciting. I don't know if he's going to be good.
Probably not.
I think it kind of opens up some stuff. But I just looked at this art. This artwork is like this goblin just be like, yeah, I'm still here. Like, of course I'm still here. Duh.
Yeah.
And
you think you can kill me?
That's right. I cannot be killed by the likes of you, mortal.
Look, you're going to hurt me, and I'll go away for a minute. But you better believe I'm coming right back.
In other news, what else is exciting? Icy Manipulator's back. That could be a lot of fun. I think some people are not going to appreciate how good Icy Manipulator is in Standard or drafts. That could be really fun. And yeah, otherwise this set just looks like it's going to be a bunch of really interesting things to do, a lot of weirdness.
Oh, yeah.
So did we figure out last time that the little whiter symbols are uncommons? It is uncommons.
Well, and you can also look at the very bottom of the card, and right next to the collector number, there's a C, U, R, or M.
That's so tiny on that big page, though, I can't tell.
Well,
I mean, I'm skimming MTG Salvation spoilers. The silver on that page looks really... Yeah, so the commons are white and the silvers are still silver, and they look very, very similar to me. I'm old. I'm an old man, Travis.
Yeah, I know.
So people are really loving Slimefoot the Stowaway on Twitter. You've probably seen a lot of this, right?
There's been people going crazy over him. Like,
this
why?
Guy seems like the nut. This is a card that makes me want to play this guy. This color combination in Standard. I'm a big Sapperling guy. I've always been a big Sapperling guy. And this guy's just like 4 mana, make a 1/1. Seems great. Whenever a Sapperling control dies, deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life for a 2/3. 2/3 for 3 mana with a relevant ability at a uncommon, I think. That seems great. It means you're going to see these guys all over drafts. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a super interesting draft format.
That's the only thing I plan to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I think there'll be some standard stuff that gets played. I'm really excited to try playing a mono red deck in the new Standard. Between this Goblin Chain Whirler, the new Jaya Ballard, like I think a big red deck is going to be really fun. Like I already got Chandra's. You already got Glory Bringers. Like big mana red might just be real fun.
Well, and especially with the Amber Mox or whatever.
Yeah. This, like he taps for any color mana as long, or not any color, anything that you have a legendary permanent of, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be fun.
So hopefully they print like 1 mana legendaries of every color in this set.
I don't think I see anything spoiled yet, but I'm still. I said I'm not really paying that close attention just yet, but I don't know. We'll see. Also, I'm really hopeful that we're going to see straight up lightning bolt soon. I know we have this wizard's lightning, but I feel like it's coming. You think
I'd
so?
be game for it.
Okay, it's like I sense it. I sense it coming in the next couple of sets, and I think this could be really fun. Another big card from a blast from the past, as it were. Siege Gang Commander's back, Travis. There's a reason to play Squee.
Well, I mean, not only that, but also what's his name? Goblin War Chief.
Straight up Goblin War Chief's back?
Yep.
No way. I'm looking. Yeah, this could be a real fun set in general. This might be the time that everyone's seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing War Chief spoiled on Salvation.
I think you need to look harder because he's there.
I'm looking. Straight up Goblin War Chief.
Yes.
Oh, there he is. I see him now. Woo, insane. I cannot believe that they reprinted this.
Yeah, so I got my old F&M promos and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some real interesting stuff coming out in the next year, which they have to be able to knock some of these current top tier decks off. I feel like you just have to be ready to go, ready to rumble, as it were. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Is Goblin War Chief good enough with Hezeret? Like, it seems like it is, right? Helps you get your hand emptied so you can attack with that Hezeret?
Yeah, just straight aggro.
Yeah. Speaking of draft this week, I sent you a text message. I don't know if you saw it.
Maybe?
But I may have opened pick one, pack one out of a pick your own packs. Jace. 4-mana Jace. What's his name? I can't think of it.
Mind Sculptor?
Yeah, that one. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to draft a blue deck. And I was sitting to Jackie's left. So basically, when Jackie's at the table with you, you know, blue's going to kind of get eaten up a little hard. So it's a little difficult to play the blue control-ish deck with someone immediately to your passing, feeding you 2 of the packs. That's probably automatically going to take every blue good card.
Right.
But I was able to pick up some sweet ones. And pack 2, I opened up Glimpse the Unthinkable and Foil Bogarden Hellkite. Right? Is that the one that
the 8 mana?
Yeah, flashes and like burns.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like sitting there looking at it. I'm like, on one hand, I have a Jace. So I can pick this Hellkite back up and replay it again pretty easily. And you don't really lose very many times if you pick up Hellkite and recast it. And then on the other hand, I was like, but I really don't have a good mill condition. But if they draw 7 and I hit them for 10, that's already about half of their deck.
Yeah.
If I regrow this with like a mnemonic wall or something, I want to say that like you fate seal?
Yep.
Like, so I can keep them from drawing anything sweet. Like, I might be the mill deck. So I went ahead and I took Glimpse the Unthinkable. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Okay. And then I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but there's a 4-mana 2/3 flyer that when it enters the battlefield, they mill until they hit a basic or a land, maybe.
Balstrad Spy?
Maybe something.
It's black.
It is black. It's a 4-mana black
Yeah.
creature. So I had one of those. And then from one of the newer sets, I got the thing that says blink 2 creatures that you control, draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that. I had Jace. I had some other bounce and some other flicker effect. So I'm like, I'm the mill deck. And I was on par. I was heavily favored to win this draft, I think. One, I already won the draft because I opened the Jace. But
right.
I think I was due to win again. But then I ended up playing, the guy ended up playing literally first round. I beat him down. I turned for Jace and just put him on lockdown. Game 1, no problem. Game 2, almost the same thing. I had Jace in my opening hand, played it on turn 4, went to town. But it turns out there's a green 2/2, I think he's a common, from the Pyramid set. The first the Amonkhet, thank you. That's why you're here. And it says exert target, or this creature gets +1/+1 and cannot be blocked by things that's powered 2 or less.
Yeah.
So my 2 creatures that I had already played was the morph wall that you unmorph by revealing your blue card in your hand, and some other like 1 power guy.
Mm-hmm.
And my opponent had that creature and a pump creature and like 1 other creature. So I minus and put the bump creature back in his hand. I was trying to get him to like go all in on it, but I couldn't get him to. So then I just put it back in his hand, thinking that he would believe that I was afraid of it, and it would make him want to use it more and protect it more, like value it more highly. He just like untapped, looked at the board for a really long time, and went, I'll attack Jace with this creature and exert. And I'm like, I'll block with my wall. He goes, no, this guy has to be blocked by 2 or bigger power.
Yep.
And he goes, I think that's none of your creatures, right? And I looked down at my creatures for a long time, and I'm like, I guess Jace goes to the graveyard.
Yep.
Didn't win that game. Game 3 was a little bit different. We went a little bit deeper. But he also had the 6/6 4-mana guy that they can't win the game, they can't win the game and you can't lose the game.
Inverter of Truth?
Something, I don't know. Tormentor of Soul or something, I feel like. Something Tormentor, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
I don't know. It's a big 6/6 flying trample for 4. And he had that thing down and started bashing me for like a negative, into the negatives. And he's like, well, I just got to wait for my my sacrifice guy. And he like puts me at 2 or something, like -2. And he stops attacking. So I'm like chipping in for a couple of points here, a couple of points there. I'm milling him real hard with my mill stuff. And he's like, well, do you have a counter spell? And I'm like, of course I have a counter spell. I mean, look at how I've been tapping my mana for the last 5 turns since you resolved that thing. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. And we go a couple more turns. He's getting close to running out of cards. And he's like, well, I guess I just got to go for it. I'm like, counter spell. And he's like, and then I untap, I drop my 5-mana card that I've been hanging on to that exiles his creature, and I gain some life.
Uh-huh.
So I exile it, thinking that he doesn't have any other way to like deal with it. His 6/6. And so I'm like attacking, doing some stuff, right? And I mistap my mana. I keep blue up instead of black-blue. And he looks at it. He puts me to -1, I think. And he goes, well, I guess I have to go for it because otherwise you're going to beat me. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, my creature fights your creature. And I sit there and I look at my hand. I have an instant insta-kill that kills a creature for 2 mana, but it involves a black. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And he kills like my 3/5 or whatever it was, or I don't even know. And then he's like, give my creature -4/-4. And I'm like, all right, you got it. But had I not mistapped, I could have killed my guy in response. It would have taken no damage, and I don't think I could have lost the game from that point. So I was able to track down losing that draft because of 2 misplays against that same person. Or had I bounced the 2/2 guy, I would have had to chump a creature, but who cared? And had I kept a black and a blue up, I could have killed my guy in instant speed before it fought his guy, and then he didn't have a removal spell that could have killed it. So aggravating. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Those pick your pack things are kind of interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, it's much better than like random packs, which is what we used to do.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that. I hate that. Just put a bunch of packs in a box and shake it up and pick blind. That's terrible. But these buy the packs that you want and open it is great.
Yeah, no, like, that's why we fire ours all the time, because everybody they just like the idea. And it's like, yeah, let's do this, once, maybe twice a month. Because, we fire drafts every Monday. And after a while, the new set, we play it for like 3-4 weeks, like maybe a month after it's released. We're like, man, I'm kind of bored of this. And so we just start doing stupid things. Like, first Monday of the month will just be, so like when the set releases, we'll do Dominaria for a month. And then after everybody's got their fill, it goes to, all right, first Monday will be Dominaria. Then we'll do like a throwback draft. Like 2 days ago, it was Innistrad. So it was Innistrad into Eldritch Moon. Yeah. So we did that. And then like the week before that was Amonkhet. Like everybody just loves, just throwback drafts because we got enough stock of it.
Right. So I don't know what other shops do, but what I try to do is I try to do the new set twice a month. And then something that's because usually there's a couple other blocks that you can do. Try to do a couple other blocks for one of the Fridays. And then we've started working in these pick your packs because basically if you rotate those 6 weeks, that gives you 2 other weeks every 2 months. And one of those weeks is the pick your pack, and the other one we do a sealed.
Mm-hmm.
So every 2 months. But I'm really tempted to shift that pick your pack up to more often. Do 2 of those, or do 1 a month for sure, because they do really well. So like this last week, I think we had 6 people sign up for draft, and they're like, "Are we still in a draft with 6?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it seems really odd to me that pick your pack isn't like 12 people, right? That's like by far people's favorite one." So I walk in the back and I'm like, "Are you seriously not drafting pick your pack?" And everyone's eyes got real big. They're like, "What? This is pick your pack week?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's on the calendar and stuff all week long for pick your pack." They're like, "Oh," and they just like, I'm not standard. And they all like almost in unison, people just got up and walked to the front to sign up for pick your pack. And like almost everybody took at least 1 pack of Masters 25, which I think is the best thing to do with it between you, me, and the nobody watching right now. Unless you want to buy it from the arena, in which case then you should buy it by the case. And then there was some other kind of like, I noticed there was an open box of M11, I think. And I was like, yeah, you guys can even do this M11. So like there was this alliance of people who like all agreed to buy M11. Like there's this really interesting sub-political plot that happens when your people are standing around picking their packs.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll get M11 if you get M11. Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome. And then there's usually like a smaller group of people that are like, I think he's got some open Theros. How about if we do like 3 Theros together? And like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's this really interested thing. But I this week I didn't really get much of a chance to eavesdrop that closely. And Remington didn't come this week, which is the other reason why it seemed like there's a smaller draft. I didn't bring like my traditional 3 people to draft. So I'm like, we had an iconic, like 2 iconic masters boxes or whatever open. I'm like, give me 2 packs of these iconics and give me one of these 25s. You know, so I paid like $33 to draft or something last week, but I feel like I nailed it. I feel like I did what I was supposed to. Open Jace 1. We're good. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Sick brags. I want to talk about some stuff happening at the arena this week as like a pseudo ad. This weekend, at the time of taping, are the store championships. Are you planning on going to yours, Travis?
Yeah.
So yeah, store championships this weekend. Usually on Saturday. I think most of them are Saturday, but they can be Sunday as well. Ours is on Saturday. And then Sunday is our first Team Unified Modern event.
So are they supposed to be on Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's supposed to be Saturday or Sunday.
Oh. Okay.
Good to know. Then another one of those things where some other shop out there couldn't work it into their schedule quite right, so they moved it to like a Monday or something.
Well, yeah, one of the shops here has it on Thursday because like the Dragon Ball tournaments are bigger than the Magic tournaments now.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Tuesday and Saturday is like so Monday, Thursday, and Friday is always Magic. Tuesday and Saturday is Dragon Ball, and normally Tuesday and Saturday have more people show up than Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
That's good. I'm glad that they have maybe it'll stick around.
Yeah, it's really good.
Look at the power of a card game based around a cartoon, Magic.
Especially like one of the most iconic cartoons.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically still exists because of its cartoon.
Yeah, well, and
right, same. I mean, you'd almost have that same argument for Pokemon too if it wasn't for the video games coming out nonstop.
Yeah, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Also has outsold Magic.
Right. I mean, clearly, because again, you have now. How many players do they have? That's the real question. What's the active player base compared to Magic?
Probably see, I don't know that. I don't know that, but like card wise, Yu-Gi-Oh has sold more than Magic has.
I don't doubt
in
that
its entire history.
I would bet though. I wonder if there's somebody that I can tweet to get an answer to. But I bet you, Magic has more active players, and I bet the reason why is because you want to Google it. See if you can find it.
I'm gonna go black over here.
Okay, I hear once you do that, you can't get credit anymore.
Oh well.
But I bet you there's more active players, and the reason why is because the cartoon, basically, kids loved it. And I mean, it's a good cartoon. I watch it with my kid when he was younger, and I would actually like to watch it again with him before he goes to college and be like, we're going to finish the thing you started when you first started going to school. That was part of our ritual. Like, we would get up, he would get ready for school, we'd watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cartoon, we would watch the Pokemon cartoon, and then he would go to school, right? So I'm like, I want to do this before he transitions to college, is like watch a couple of these series with him and be like, let's finish it. Let's finish what we started. But that's the power of having a good cartoon. And it doesn't even have to be like the current set. It just needs to be a compelling storyline with interesting characters and with an interesting story. It's almost like Magic the Gathering is set up for this, right? Interesting lead characters, planeswalkers, Interesting stories. Like any of the things.
All right, I found it.
All right, what do you got? What's the average like tournament occupation?
Well, I didn't go tournament occupation. I just looked up the overall numbers.
Okay.
And active players. So I assume that just those that are registered to their basically to their DCI list or whatever. So active players for Magic is 20 million people. Active players for Yu-Gi-Oh is about 1.9 to 2 million people.
So way in Magic's favor.
Yeah, player base wise. But and you know it like you said, it's kind of weird.
That's exactly that exactly proves my point, is that the cartoon has driven those sales so hard because the kids are excited. They're like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh, Blue Eyes White Pokemon.
And I've noticed just from local shops, so I don't know how varied it is worldwide, but Magic basically hits everyone from like child to senior citizen almost. Yu-Gi-Oh seems to be like basically the millennial gap plus teenagers. And then Pokemon is like kids to adults also. But
it's for some reason popular in the middle though.
Right. And that's where like the Yu-Gi-Oh players are.
Right.
Is like they're right in the middle.
So we talk about the Magic spectrum at the arena, right? We used to say things like the reason why we're currently in a Magic slump at the arena, and why I'm actually hired on and why I work so hard to keep the community engaged and interested, is because our Magic community 6 years ago, before I was doing this, kind of took a big dump on the Yu-Gi-Oh players, right? But our games from our past here at the arena, like the Pokemon players eventually turned into Yu-Gi-Oh players, the Yu-Gi-Oh players eventually became Magic players, and then the Magic players would come and go depending on how their personal lives were going at that particular moment. But the Magic players took a big old dump on the Yu-Gi-Oh players at that particular generation. So then the Yu-Gi-Oh players never became Magic players. And then the Magic players went to go do their personal life stuff. And it was like, we don't have the influx of new players to play. Right. So our population took like a, let's say 40% drop. Let's say 20% people rotating out, or 40% of people rotating out. And then usually you get like 20 or 30% of your population rotating in from Yu-Gi-Oh. That just never happened. So now our players are starting to return again, and our population is starting to grow. And now that I'm here, I'll hear somebody say something like that, and I jump on them hard.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what game you're playing, as long as they're having fun, we're going to support them here at the arena. And they're like, oh, they're a dirty Pokemon player. Or like, oh, they're a dirty Yu-Gi-Oh player. Like, no, there's none of that. There's none of that. I put a kibosh on that as quickly as I can. But the damage was done, and it's crazy. Can you imagine what it would be like if those sales from Yu-Gi-Oh turned into, say, like 50% of them turn into Yu-Gi-Oh players?
Right. Well, because I mean, if you look at it, Magic has 10 times the amount of player base. No, 20. Yeah, about 10 times the amount of player base as a Yu-Gi-Oh community, but the Yu-Gi-Oh community still outsells Magic.
Right.
Like that right there is just, it's like, hey, maybe Magic should, or maybe Wizards should look at this and be like, hey, it's pretty crazy that they're outselling us when we literally have 12 million or 18 million more people playing.
Right. Well, I was just going to be like, compare that to tournament turnouts, right? Just, I mean, look at the size of GPs. GPs are selling out now at 5,000 people. I cannot tell you the last time I heard about like a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament selling out. But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It just means I'm not in those pools where I hear about it.
Right.
Somebody was trying to tell me that Force of Will had like the biggest tournament turnout ever. I'm like, bigger than GP Las Vegas? That was so big they fractured that thing into 3 different GPs?
Right.
Like, really? I don't know. But they were adamant that it was true. And I didn't have the time or energy to go look up to prove them wrong. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. I don't understand why people can't just be supportive of other people playing a game. It's just like, so I stream video games. I want to say professionally, but that involves getting a paycheck more often than I get. And I play Dungeons and Dragons online as one of my primary games of my big 3. And my brother is a big WoW guy. And for years, he's been asking me to join him on WoW. Wow. Well, as part of the stream policy, if someone donates a game, I play it. I try it. I may not stick with it for very long, but I at least try it. So he's like, I got you now. Now you have to play WoW.
Yeah.
He donated to me a whole bunch of WoW stuff. So now I have to play it. So now I think we're going to start making it a regular game on Tuesday morning. I'm completely lost in WoW. But I've seen my personal transition of like, oh man, I'll never play WoW. That seems crazy. To you know what? If you like WoW, awesome. Like, I'm glad you're doing something and you're having a good time. I'll check it out. I may not like it. It may not be the game for me. But if you like it, let's check it out. It's just like HOTS. HOTS versus is that League of Legends?
Yeah.
Right? They're practically the same game. There's a handful of different mechanics involved. I happen to think HOTS is a little bit simpler. So for the time constraints that I can put into a game like that, the builds are easier. There's a whole lot less for me to learn and keep track of. Where in League of Legends, the build options are way more diverse in the middle of a game, right? Because you have talents or whatever they call them, and you also have these gold equipment purchases.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned it because Travis was a big Leagues player.
Yeah, before I decided I don't want a computer. No, like for League, you have like your runes and mastery pages that you set up outside the game. And then during the game, your character has 4 different moves plus passives. And then you have like you build items in the game also. So it's like plus like I don't know about HOTS, but League has all these different like character classes built in.
Mm-hmm.
And different lane assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the same with HOTS?
Yeah, HOTS is literally watching the 2 of them, other than a graphics change. There's not really that big of a difference. Like,
okay.
In League, when I played with you that couple of times that we played, we were always like going back someplace and buying stuff with gold that we earned.
Right.
In HOTS, instead, you get XP, you gain levels, and at certain levels, there are tiers where you get a pick what they call as a talent that modifies your QEWR abilities. And there's passive stuffs and stuff that modifies those. It's basically the same game.
Yeah.
But the big difference is, specifically between those 2 games, is that they don't generally have that last hit mechanic for the XP.
Yeah.
So everybody in the team levels together. You just have to be near it to get XP in general, and then the team gains XP. So no one on the team gets lagged behind because, say, like they're a class that doesn't need the last hits per se. So I don't know. Again, I think it's simpler. There's a lot less things to kind of juggle in the 2, but that I've noticed from people on that stream, to continue my point, I've noticed people making fun of me playing HOTS instead of League, or League instead of, you know what I mean? Like, like people have this classism on the games that they play. Same thing with Magic, same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like, guys, we're all the same people trying to do this stuff together. We need to work with it. I notice it inside of Magic, people talking about Commander versus Brawl with modern players versus Standard. I get so tired of like, oh, standard is trash. I would never play standard. But then I look at their commander deck or their modern deck, and half of the bloody cards were in standard less than a year ago.
So what you're saying is they're not in standard now.
That's correct. They're not in standard now. They were at standard at the time they started playing that deck. Because you know why? Because I built it, and it was the deck that I actually had because I had the cards from standard. You played it at Gen Con, and now you're freaking in love with the deck.
Yeah, but what are the other cards?
Oh, Path of Exile and stupid lands that make creatures cost like double mana.
See? Well, there you go.
Whatever. Standard is trash. Shut up. Oh, just Ghetto Commander. Shut up. Just enjoy Magic.
You say Ghetto Commander?
Yeah, isn't that what they called it? Oh, you're not on Facebook anymore. You don't know.
That sounds like Carl.
No, I don't think it was Carl. It was something Cub said that stuck with me.
Oh.
Anyway, come to our Team Unified Modern tournament on Sunday. Should be a lot of fun, actually. It's going to be a busy weekend for me. In fact, this whole month is crazy. Like for Magic stuff, we've got win-a-boxes like 2 out of the 3 weeks. We've got pre-release. We've got these tournaments, and then we have the sealed box at the end of the month, which is insane. And then I've got freaking PPTQs like the very next weekend. It's like a crazy 5 weeks this month. This month is just crazy. I don't know, man. What else you want to talk about before we wrap up? Like, I didn't have a lot of show notes. I thought we'd like maybe pick and choose a little bit of the pre-release stuff. But if you've looked at none of it and you've already built your deck for next season, like you don't send me deck lists anymore to publish on the site. So,
well, it's because I don't know. I don't really play standard, but I think I'm gonna play this upcoming standard. I don't know.
I don't know. It looks like a lot of fun to me, but every standard kind of looks like a lot of fun to me.
But I have a legacy deck.
Yeah, no one likes legacy.
I love it.
Oh, the sweetheart. So last night, quick sidebar. I was I was not live on my stream. I was hanging out on another guy's stream, kind of being trying to help drum up some viewers on his stream. And we were playing HOTS, and another friend of ours was in, and the guy who was hosting Witty, he's just like yeah, like I don't mind the occasional inappropriate language, but I'd like to keep it, good enough that my kid could watch if he wanted to. So I'd like to keep the language less harsh or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go blue. I don't mind. It's fine. Our other friend who was sitting there listening, like got killed by a character and like was just every word was profanity for like 5 minutes. And I just like started laughing, like the most honest laugh I think I've had in a long time. And he's like, what are you effing laughing about? I'm like, Witty just asked us all to keep our swearing to a minimum. You said okay and immediately died and started cursing up a storm. And he's like, I never said one swear word. And I'm like, every other word out of your mouth was a cuss word. You did it so much you don't even realize how many cuss words that you said. And everybody else in the chat started laughing. He's like, Sam's completely right. You just like swore up a storm. I'm just like that. I just had that same moment. I'm like, nobody likes Legacy. Legacy's stupid. All right, man. Hit me with your Legacy stuff before.
I was going to say,
I'll be fair.
Would it make you like the deck even more, like at all, if I said that I'm playing with a bunch of dinosaurs?
I mean, that would not hurt. Are they real dinosaurs or are they dragon dinosaurs? Because I'm getting them confused right now.
No, they're real dinosaurs. They're from Ixalan.
Okay. What dinosaurs are you playing in Legacy? That just like ballpark to me. You can send me a real deck list, but ballpark it to me. Now I'm excited.
Okay.
Like, give me a dinosaur.
I'm running Gishath.
Is that the big Naya one?
Yeah, that's the one where When you attack, well, so it costs 8 mana. It's a 7/6.
Oh,
Trample
this is a
Vision
Snake
Faith.
and Show deck, isn't it?
No, it's Reanimator.
Same trash, different name. All right, hit me.
So yeah, so I got Gishath, 4 Carnage Tyrants, 3 Atali, Primal Storm,
Okay, I like that.
2 Galta,
Okay, I like that too.
4 Regisar Alphas.
Trash. No, that card's great.
Come
on, I can't poo-poo this deck if you don't start putting bad cards in it again.
Verdant Sun's Avatar.
Is that the Wrath one? The 3 damage one? The red one?
No. That's the one where whenever a creature enters, you gain life equal to its toughness.
All right, good. Phew, trash. All right, thank you, Travis.
Yeah, no problem. And then I have
Literally
the
last 4 cards just completely wrecked me in the last month.
Yeah.
I've done some wrecking though too. Remember that draft? I drafted a Register Alpha and the Galta.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was so good.
But then other cards I have Faithless Looting, Reanimate.
You're black, red, green?
Mainly just mono black.
You just listed all Faithless Looting.
Yeah, I said mainly. I have 1 mountain and 2 badlands for Faithless Looting. The rest of it is just swamps.
Okay. All right, keep going then. It's just when you that's the first card you name, I'm like, Yawgmoth's Will?
No.
That's probably banned. Bargain? It's probably banned
No.
too.
Lotus Petal.
I like that. You got some Simeon cards in there?
Nope.
How good would Regisaur Alpha be on turn 1?
Not as good as Gishath.
That's probably fair. I just meant to cast it, not reanimated and cheated into play with bad cards that they won't reprint again. Oh, that reminds me. I have another story.
Thoughtseize.
I like that.
Animate Dead.
I like that.
I
like Reanimator. I'm a liar. I do like it.
Entomb. So that way I can throw things in there.
Right, you got to be able to get them.
Big Zoom. Dark Ritual.
That's the card. Let's stop. All right. Send me a deck list. I'll put it on the website.
Okay.
If you don't put it on the website or you don't send me a deck list, I won't go on the website.
Okay.
So I got to play some Pauper this week. So now I'm up to, I think, 2, maybe 3 times playing my sweet Pauper deck. I sit down to play against Scott, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of rough because assuming that I spent all this time and energy, built this deck, I'm yet to get to play it. And someone was like, well, why don't you play Commander? I'm like, well, back in the early days when I first started playing Commander, it kind of divulged into this combo douchebaggeriness that made it unfun for me to play. So I've not played Commander since then. But, this was back when it was Elder Dragon Highlander before Commander kind of took off as the variant that they kind of went with. And he's like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. So we start playing Pauper. And he turn 1's Faithful Looting some stuff into his graveyard. And I don't remember what... I do remember. There's some Eldrazi thing. It's an 8/8 trample Eldrazi.
Okay.
It's got Annihilator 2 on it, I think.
Yeah.
And a red enchantment that gives a creature haste or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, sweet. My turn 1 play is I play a white land, and I play my Thraben Inspector and get my clue. And I'm like, I'm in this game. I got 2 artifacts. It's going to be sweet. And he's like, Exhume? I'm like, well, I don't have any creatures in my graveyard yet. He's like, okay. Well, here's my free 8/8 trample, Annihilator 2. I'm like, okay, I can deal with it, whatever. And he's like, and it gets this enchantment put on it because it, a creature of this power came into play. And I'm like, okay. He's like, attack you with my 8/8 Annihilator.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is done. I'm pretty sure I'm over now. I'm like, this is that kind of douchebagger that makes me not want to play formats.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's why they banned Grape Shot and Empty the Warrens.
Oh, from Pauper?
Yep.
Okay. That
Yeah,
makes
like
sense.
yeah, and then there's another storm card that's banned too. I just can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's often the case. I just think he happened to hit the perfect storm. Because we play like 2 or 3 more games after that, and I won every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But also, he did his little combo, and now that I knew what it was, like I had no idea what to expect. Again, it was like my 3rd time playing Pauper, right? So he did his little combo thing, and then after that, I started saving some removal effects that would hit it. So yeah, it was pretty fun. I have to say I had a lot of fun playing it, even though it came out of nowhere and just like, so we start play. He's like, so should I start losing now to make sure that you keep playing the format? I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. But then I won every game, so I think he did. I'm not sure. I can't prove it, but I may have won every game of Pauper after that just because he didn't want me to give up on the format.
Right.
I don't know, but it was a lot of fun, and I kind of playing it some more.
And then like that deck, I haven't actually seen the Reanimator deck in Pauper, but it just kind of seems really a sketch to me.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of. I thought that did they not get rid of what's the Phyrexian mana? Look at your hand, the Phyrexian mana peak.
Gitaxian Probe.
Did they not get rid of that in Pauper?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I have no idea what the current ban list is in Pauper lately. I haven't looked at it in forever, so I don't know. It was one of those deals. He's just like, we're talking about how certain things like sit really poorly, and then he just like bambos me real hard. It's like nice. But yeah, that's about it. I keep getting sent the occasional Pauper deck list. It sounds really cool. Keep doing that. I appreciate it. Oh, I should check emails. I didn't actually. I started getting distracted with a political conversation with some friends while I was working on show notes, so I didn't actually do anything. They were talking about the YouTube shooter yesterday.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't see any new emails off the top of my head that we want to go over right now. Yeah, nothing real important. So I guess with that, you can check out this and all other variations of this podcast at samusgarubo.com. Of course, you can send us an email like no one apparently did this week. The number 2 trollsbrew@gmail.com. You can check out the Twitch page, twitch.tv/SamusGarubo. We're, of course, here to watch the YouTube video at youtube.com/SamusGarubo. I'm Samus Garobo on Twitter. That you may have noticed the theme. Everything's named after me. And the reason why is because I pay the bills. Not like that lazy bastard. Turtle Power 319. If you just want to get angry every time you look at your Twitter feed, that's who you follow.
You're welcome. I do it specifically for you.
Yeah, it doesn't actually bother me at all anymore. I've got you on block.
Oh, I guess I'll have to stop.
Not true at all. No, I just like look at it and I'm just like, oh, I know he's trying to bait me, so I just move on. But yeah, message us. I notice you message. You actually don't just bait me. You do a lot on Twitter now. Like you get a lot of like you comment to other Magic personalities like comments. You retweet a lot of people. Like you're pretty active. You retweet some stuff that borderlines inappropriate for a dad of my age.
So
I mean, it's fine. I'm just telling you when I look at your feed and I'm just like casually like, oh, Travis has got a new post, and I just look at it and there's like a person not wearing very many clothes. I'm like, okay, well, we better keep scrolling because never know when my wife or kid will walk in and see What are you looking at? There's a girl not wearing any clothes. It's like, oh, pervert old man. I'm like, that's not. It's Travis. I can't get it off my feet.
Oh, like I don't think I retweet any lewd things, but I definitely like them.
I feel like I've definitely gotten you.
Maybe I do. I don't know. I don't pay attention to what I.
Yeah, that's just.
I don't pay attention to what I retweet.
He can't do anything. He can't do anything. All right, guys. I think that's it for me. Travis, do you have any final thoughts for us this week?
No.
Come on, buddy. That's your one job. You have two jobs. Your job is to be here, do the show notes, which you've not done ever.
So that's already two.
And sign off.
That's 3.
No, because you don't do any of those things. You have two jobs. 2.
Yeah, I show up.
Not always. You're not always here.
Well, sometimes you're not here, so whose fault is that?
Only when I'm sick, and then I'm still here.
Eh.
Troll on, everybody.
Troll on, everybody.